Right, so let me introduce you to the problem that I'm going to be describing. Now, I've recorded these videos from the back to the front. First, I recorded the one when I'm actually installing my solution. Then I recorded the one where I'm explaining the solution. Now I need to explain the problem. Right, it would have been helpful if I started with the problem, I guess. But the problem is, I've got a printer, a 3D printer. Yes, that is the actual problem. I bought the problem, or the printer, and then I realized actually it makes fumes. Now, I don't know how dangerous they are. I didn't have a medical test done on me, but I sit right here next to the printer and I literally can say the moment the printer heats up and starts printing, I start coughing. Clearly there's something going into my throat and my nose. The printer does have a fan, but the fan only brings it out into the room itself, right? It doesn't actually take it anywhere, right? So you need a duct, which is why I have a duct. Why? But then the duct was just hanging out of the window, and the only thing that was pushing the air out was the fan from the printer pushing the air all the way up, which is why I got this design and printed the little fan housing and the fan exhaust, and then the plexiglass. Now the plexiglass was a problem because, well, I didn't want to glue it on the window. I want to actually lock it sometimes. That you can also slide across the window when it's, summer and you just want to have one, you can take the two off. It's, not really hot but not really cold either. You can have two, or if it's winter you can cover it up completely and just have a little draft, from between the crevices of the plastic coming through, which would be fine. That's the problem, and there's the solution. Let me introduce you to the solution to your window venting problems with 3D printing. Now, I've designed this myself and I'm really proud of the square little block that you see in front of you. It has a little hinge. This one goes up and this one goes down, and the gravity helps to drop the hinge down when you're putting it on. Whereas if you had this one up there, you would have a bit of a problem because it doesn't want to lock. That's why I've done this one as well, which is just another square block. But what do you need for these? You need these 3 ends and you need to put them on the back like this. Difficult, I know. But good thing you have a tutorial to follow. But if you're one of those guys like myself who likes a tutorial that doesn't skip a step, this is how you do it. You just put it gently on top, right? And then you only remove this when it's ready, right? Not before. What else you need? You need plexiglass. I'll put in the description what size this is. Put it on that while you're installing it, which is gonna roll now. Got our 4 brackets. We've got our plexiglass. Try not to glue it to the wrong side. We can just try it out first. Right. Looks good, leaves no gap with the one next to it. So I've got the bracket. Good, the design is flawless, but the access is absolute rubbish. I now have to bend in ways that I've not imagined before without crashing into my monitor below. There we go. It's one done. Now I can do the top bracket. Try not to do it the wrong way around. Now the problem you're gonna probably see, and for those who are really clever, they probably see it already. What do you do for the last gap? So if I wanted to close this gap, what happens then? Because, as you have probably guessed, the way to take these off is to reach out behind and lift that little flap, right? So obviously I could drill a hole and do something like that. I could probably do that, but you effectively close the window, making it impossible to take these off without ripping one of these off. But that is a problem for future AREC. The current AREC needs to just install these. Right, last one. So making sure this is nice and steady. I can put that up there. Doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to just stop the draft while this is on, right? And I've made this adjustable. I'll show that in a later video. So that holds. Now I want to take it off, right? So I'll smooth it slightly. I lift these 2 brackets up. Oh, come on. Well, I just messed that up, didn't I? Who noticed that? Who noticed that I messed this up? Right, what did I do wrong? This one is the right way up. This one is the wrong way up. It still works, weirdly enough. But I'm not going to be satisfied with that. Come on. You need to be off. Alright, that comes off scarily easily. It's not like this is rocket science. It's not like it's gonna go into space or anything. So I can install it again. How the hell did I mess that up? Seriously, such a rookie mistake. Right, so put it back on. That was fine. This one, put the wrong way around. So now is the right way around, I think. Now, everyone's seen the video where a guy was dragging one of these off a computer and then dropped the computer, so be careful. You don't want to destroy this magnificent piece of work. And voila, you have a nice clean plexiglass to protect the draft. Now, if I put the third bit here, how am I going to take it off? So I think what I'm going to do for the third bit, so you know, like instead of putting them spaced like that, I'm just going to put the bottom brackets like here, one here, and the top brackets here and here. And then I'm going to lift it up here a bit, drag it along, and then I'll have my hand here to take it off. I think that's an option without drilling, because drilling obviously does mess it up quite badly. So anyways, I hope that makes sense. Now I can show you, I guess, I'll move that along, see how beautifully that moves, right? Now I'll show you, if you bear with me. This is how it sits here, right? That's the bracket that from another person's design. I'm going to link it in the description. And you have little screws on this one, which means I can unscrew those and turn that bit around. Now why did I do it like that? Well, because it's windy in this country quite a lot. So if I had it flush, which I think was the intended design, is to have that square bit flush with the plexiglass. If I had done that, then the wind would have been just, you know, pushing into the pipe more than the little 92mm computer fan is able to push out. And the wind comes usually from that direction, which means that it's going to have least effect and maybe even a bit of drag on the fan in the right direction. I can also modify it, so if the wind comes from another direction, I can move it around 180 degrees, down or up, as I wish. I think this is the optimal one though. So thank you for your attention. Thanks, bye.